Lyon, France's second city, is an agreeable mixture of old trades and modernity. As I tied up for the last time, the ducks gave me their irreverent salute. Finally, my stay in this wonderful, hospitable town was coming to an end. I'm Guignol, and here's my friend Nafron. I'm Nafron, and I like a drink. And I'm Madelon, the wife of Guignol.
La femme de Guignol. On se coque.
Et moi je suis le voleur.
And I'm the robber.
Et moi je suis la Jeannette.
And I'm Jeannette, the daughter of Guignol and Madelon. Lyon is famous for its very own puppet characters, Guignol and his gang. Laurent Mouguet began as a silk weaver and then started to pull teeth. He invented Guignol in 1804 to entertain his clients and perhaps drum up a little business. These folks are amateur puppeteers rehearsing a show for Saturday afternoon.
Est-ce qu'il reste de la neige là-haut?
Ah, là-haut.
Oh, décidément, je suis dans les transes.
I'm in a trance. Perhaps I was too hard with Guignol just now.
Bah tout va bien.
Ah, now's my chance.
Il est temps de redorer ton blason. Le poulailler n'est habité que par une...
Mais c'est un mal effrayé. Mais...
Halte là, ma brave
Give me
femme.
your money or I'll pluck you like a chicken.
Je me saigne comme un poulet.
Help, help, Monsieur Guignol!
Et vous, madame?
Are you all right, madame?
Comment ça va?
At least he didn't pluck me like a chicken.
Comme il a dit. Oh, Monsieur Guignol. Attention, Monsieur Guignol, je
Look out, Mr. Guignol!
Ah, tu vas trembler encore, toi,
Monsieur Guignol, je ne veux pas voir ça. Oh, non, Monsieur Guignol. Continuez la pièce.
At this point, everybody got the giggles and couldn't carry on.
Il y a des guignolettes, il y a des guignolettes. Mais qu'on a toujours pas parlé.
Lyon is famous for the painted walls all over the city. I asked if their group painted walls all over the world. Oh yes, we're working in Quebec, Barcelona, and now we have a big project in Jerusalem. I asked why they started painting walls in the first place. I think to some extent it was because we were there. It's 24 years since we began working on painted walls. Our base is just outside Lyon, and we started at the Croix-Rousse.
Et puis, voilà. Et puis on a
And besides, we love our city and love working here. It's true that Lyon has become well known for its painted walls. There are nearly 50 of them. In our method of working, we work on the memories of the district and the location. It's a way of giving a place its identity. The tourists come to Lyon nowadays to see the painted walls. Marc Barbier, an old rally driver and rock and roller from the 60s, has turned his garage into a shrine to Elvis and Jimmy Dean. He promised me my very first ride on a Harley Davidson. Perched behind Remy on his Harley, he told me to be a real Harley Davidson man. It was all important to be cool. Wing mirrors, and klaxons were decidedly uncool. Next, I went to see André Piatko to get him to make me a mooring stake. An artist to his fingertips, he insisted on transforming an ordinary square rod as if by magic into a thing of beauty, just for the fun of it. Bubbling orange sugar is the stuff that made Gabriel Paillasson into a famous pâtissier. Gabriel's blue, white and red collar means that he's one of the elite band of the best workers in France. Being a top-flight pâtissier means that he has a large collection of molds. Here's the pride of his collection. This hen mold is one of only 3 in the whole of Lyon. He said the hen mold had been made entirely by hand. More recently, aluminium molds were made, which lost a lot of the detail. And nowadays, the worst of all are the polycarbonate and plastic molds.
Il y a moins de détails, et puis maintenant on est dans l'époque polycarbonate, plastique, alors là.
All the time Gabriel was telling me about molds, he was working his orange sugar into a malleable form. He put his working block of sugar under a lamp to keep it soft. I asked why at a certain stage he blew into the form of a swan he was creating, rather than using the rubber valve. He said you can feel better with your mouth whether it's still warm inside. If you use the rubber valve, you get no sensation, and you might easily break the sugar.
Donc après, ça éclate.
I asked him if he'd made the design before. No, he said, this was the first time. I'm not at all certain his finished creation was to my taste, but I'm sure someone will be delighted with it on their wedding day. Suddenly I found myself in a very typical French house in the suburbs of Lyon, the home of a couple of designers called Vavreau. Alain Vavreau told me he and his wife needed to live in this environment. We need to make trips and bring things home here, he said.
J'ai mis les tasses déjà. J'ai pas fait le café, mais j'ai mis les tasses. Pour les enfants. Oui. Comment c'est vrai, comme un orange.
Alain and Dominique have done very well out of designing plates and crockery for grand restaurants like Paul Bocuse.
Oui, on se dit qu'il va falloir au moins faire ce chiffre-là pour le redonner. Oui, donc dans notre activité assiette, elle se compose en de façon
Our
de
plate
travailler,
business is
c'est-à-dire
made up of two ways of working.
des décors
That's
pour
to
la-
say,
pour la
designs
gamme
for the
des
porcelain
porcelainiers,
manufacturer,
Villeroy
which is
Bosch,
Villeroy
Luxembourg.
Bosch in
Donc ça,
Luxembourg,
c'est toute une partie
and then the
qui
designs for
de l'autre
hotels
côté,
and restaurants.
une demande
But with those,
de-
you need a lot of
d'hôtels,
orders to pay for the
de restaurants, entre
designs.
guillemets, parce qu'il faut beaucoup de quantité pour créer un décor. Pendant quelques années, les décors
For the
ont
last
pris
few
toujours plus de
years,
place
the
dans les-
decorations
dans
on
l'aile de
plates
l'assiette.
has been
Oui.
taking up
Maintenant,
more and
on
more
recule de
room.
nouveau.
But
On
now we
revient
are
à des
designing
choses
much
beaucoup
simpler
plus
plates
sobres.
with
Oui.
far
Nous, on
less
présente un petit peu
decorations.
une carte
Oui.
d'une quinzaine de créations.
We present about 15
Et,
different
Georges
designs, and
Duboeuf
George
se promène
Duboeuf,
avec,
the
il
wine
va aux
seller,
États-Unis,
goes
dans
off
tous
with
ses
them to the
agents
US
américains.
and
On
sees
fait
all
la même
his
chose
US
pour les pays
agents.
importants,
And he
c'est
does the same thing for Japan and Europe and shows the designs. Each agent chooses the design that will work best for
On est
them.
en train de faire là, on est
We're
en train de
working on the
développer
Japanese
une image pour
presentation
Sherry
now.
Lehman.
We're also developing an image for Sherry Lehman in New York. That's the design for him for 2001.
Et pour le Japon, on l'a pas fait.
And for Japan, we haven't finished that yet. Is it different? Yes, it's different. It has more of the feeling and culture of the country. Dominique explained how they worked between them. Alain has a wonderful drawing hand with bold, sure strokes, and I adore fiddling with the colors, which is much more feminine.
Cette année, il n'arrive pas à me
Georges Chamolet casts statues in bronze, amongst other things.
Ah oui, oui, parce qu'on recommence chaque fois.
Is it always the same price?
Ou
the
alors,
old lady
pour faire un
asked?
peu moins cher, il faudrait qu'on moule carrément
Yes,
là-dessus.
because we start afresh each
Oui,
time.
oui, 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 c'est, voilà. Comment-
George had to
tirage
patiently
déjà.
explain
Parce que
that
bon, il y a
because
des plats,
every time they
il y a
made a
des-
mold, they had to start afresh, it was the same price. Today, George is pouring oven knobs and angels.
Un petit truc comme ça, il faut compter 200 francs.
George said he would sell these at about $30 each.
Ça doit être,
When he'd
en métal
finished with
argenté,
them,
hein, c'est du
they'd be
béton
dipped in
argenté
silver.
là-dessus, là.
Another load of oven knobs flops out of the mold.
Humide. Alors on les met sécher la nuit.
They make the molds in wet sand and then they put them in the oven overnight to dry out the sand. In the morning, they pour the metal into the molds of whatever they're making. You get better results when the molds are dry. In the heart of Lyon's ritziest district is Bernachon's famous chocolate shop. I asked the owner's daughter whether I could buy one of the enormous balls of chocolate they had on display. She said no, but I could go and see how it was made.
Je sens que ça va te traîner pendant 15 jours. Venir.
Ce qui tourne là-bas.
That's what's being made over there. San Antonio, 11 kilos. Colombia, 4 kilos. Caracas, 11 kilos. You can make a chocolate covering with that. That's the secret. They're not quite dry. They need a few more minutes.
Ça c'est fait, hein?
C'est fini ça. C'est reproduit tout de suite et après c'est carré.
When these beans are finished, they'll be put in that machine over there to remove the skins. I asked him which was his favorite. My favorite, one of these, the Mont Princesse. Were you always a chocolate maker? I had the honor to work with Maurice Bernachon, who started the firm. He was the father of Jean-Jacques, the present owner. I learned an enormous amount from that man. He was an exceptional man. He was extremely sensitive. He had an enormous respect for his product. It was just in his nature. Yes, I learnt a great deal from Maurice Bernachon.
Et donc avec Maurice Bernachon, j'ai beaucoup appris avec lui. C'était très intéressant. À 18 carats. On s'en sert pour faire
18 carats. We use it for decoration.
C'est très volatile. Vraiment, c'est bon. Voilà. Oui, c'est bien.
I was allowed to assist with my favorites.
Président, ça c'est gâteau président.
This machine has special cold rollers for making the gâteau président.
On fait tout le tour et après on finit en dôme.
You go right round the edge and then you finish the dome.
Ouais, c'est un gâteau qui a été fait lors de la visite de Giscard d'Estaing il y a 18 ans à peu près.
It's a cake that was made for the visit of President Giscard d'Estaing 18 years ago. My mooring was right in the heart of Lyon on the Rhône. You're never very far from a river in this city. This little firm is just about the last flag maker in Lyon. They make everything from the little flags that hang down from trumpets in brass bands, etc., to giant regimental banners. The French are keen on flags. They have hundreds and hundreds of military designs. I thought I'd have a go on this embroidery machine. It looks simple, but actually it was fiendishly difficult. Like patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time. I met a couple in the market who lived their lives as though it was the year 1900. I asked her, did she always go to market dressed like this? Yes, since I've been in Lyon. Mr. and Mrs. 1900 had asked me home for tea. I would have liked to have been 20 in 1900. I was born 60 years later.
60 ans plus tard.
Mr. 1900 works as an itinerant concierge to earn enough to satisfy his consuming collecting habit.
Il avait pensé en mettant ceci, des petits rebords.
Completely useless.
Faux.
This one's the same, completely hopeless.
Mais plus en profondeur.
They're all for making potato puree. Yes.
Oui.
Why don't you use a fork? A fork doesn't make puree. It leaves bits behind. That in the true puree there are no bits. Collecting is a passion, a vice, even a calling. I shall stop buying the day I'm certain that everything I possess is 1900. I believe I'll need 2 or 3 lives. I think I'll ask for an extension.
Donc j'ai besoin, je crois, de 2 ou 3 vies. Je vais demander un sursis.
Quand vient l'époque des vacances, chacun rêve de s'en aller. Il y a de beaux coins dans notre France et on est bien embarrassé. Irons-nous voir la Bretagne, la Touraine ou le Midi, la mer ou bien la montagne? Tout ça c'est très joli, mais quand on retrouve le sourire de Lyon, de nos fleuves, les bouquets, tous les ponts, la rue de l'Arrêt, les terreaux et Bellecour, le vieux Saint-Jean, la Pardieu et sa tour, on est heureux de revoir son quartier, le Pibouchon, le tabac, l'épicier. On se dit ma foi, mon petit coin, vaut bien Paris ou Toulon quand on retrouve le sourire de Lyon. Tout le long des quais du Rhône, les amoureux vont rêver. Et même au bord de la Saône, les banlieues sont familiers. De Notre-Dame de Fourvière, ceux qui voyagent partout disent franchir les frontières. C'est peu de choses entre nous, mais quand on retrouve le sourire de Lyon, de nos fleuves, les bouquets, tous les ponts, la rue de l'Arrêt, les terreaux et Bellecour, le vieux Saint-Jean, la Pardieu et sa tour, on est heureux de revoir son quartier, le tabac, l'épicier. On se dit ma foi, mon petit coin, vaut bien Paris ou Toulon quand on retrouve le sourire de Lyon. Mais quand on trouve le sourire de Lyon, de nos fleuves, les bouquets, tous les ponts, la rue de l'Arrêt, les terreaux et Bellecour, le vieux Saint-Jean, la Pardieu et sa tour, on est heureux de revoir son quartier, le petit bouchon, le tabac, l'épicier. On se dit ma foi, mon petit coin, vaut bien Paris ou Toulon quand on retrouve le sourire de Lyon.
One of the things I know I'll miss most is buying my bread at this inconspicuous little bakery. It's the best bread in France. So we must be doing something right. We've got a good baker.
On aura au moins quelque chose de bien. Ah oui, mais c'est parce qu'on a un bon boulanger. Ah voilà.
I went to take one last look at Lyon from high in the Clarion Tower. The Clarioneur was practicing a bit of Verdi on the 60 tuned bells he has up there. I have to say I grew a little misty-eyed at the thought of leaving this superb city and all the pleasure and the friends I had there.